What's going on? Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. Man, I ain't even gonna lie. I had a whole nother podcast out or recorded and ready to go ahead and, send out there. But I wasn't really happy with that one. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and re-record one. So, real time, we're in May 1st, 2024. It has been hot, man. It's been almost 90 degrees out here. So I was back to getting used to the heat. But, what can you do? That's it just comes with it, man. We always have something that we're dealing with in business. And if you're in the lawn and landscape industry, it's almost always weather related. So this has been an interesting week, man. I had a brand new client who I did the initial mows, the first mow last Monday, who reached out to me this Monday, a whole week later, and said there's some damage on the side of her house. Like, I'm talking about, it was high up, maybe 7 feet up. Damage on the side of her house, which I don't remember hitting anything because, once again, I am solo owner operator, and I tend to know when I've done something. And as you know, for something to go through the vinyl siding to the point where it nicked the wood underneath the vinyl siding, it had to be something with some good force. You usually hear that with a mower. I don't remember hearing anything. The client actually told me he heard something from the inside because he was home at the time, and he felt like the house shake. And I'm sitting here kind of like, he said he thought I hit the deck with the mower. And I was a little surprised by that because most people would come outside right away and be like, I just heard something. I just felt something. But either which way, client thought I hit the deck. He kind of said, oh, well, whatever, pretty much. Went to go adjust the sprinklers and those damage on the side of the siding and said that it looks like it's from the same place where he heard the sound when I was cutting the week before. So, to be completely honest with you, if it was damage that I felt like I made, and I would have known that it was there, I would have seen it, I would have told the client that day right on the spot. But the fact that I didn't hear it, no nothing, it's kind of like frustrating because I don't think I made the damage. He thought it was the handlebars from the stand-on mower that I used, but it's way higher than that, and I don't run into people's houses. And he had left a message saying, the guy that was here cut the grass, and then, I heard the sound, whatever, felt it, and he just left. So he was assuming that, we had hit the house, and we knew we damaged it, and we were just sweeping under the rug. So I had to let him know right away. As of right now, I am a solo owner operator, so it was me that was out at your house. I definitely didn't hit your house, and had I known, I would have let you know. So I was getting frustrated with that on Monday. It's funny. If you heard my last podcast, it was all about shaking off the bad Mondays and just making the best of it. So that's what I did. I reached out to a couple buddies I have that are handyman. One of them is my neighbor across the street. As soon as I shot him a text, he's like, I'm going to go out and do an estimate tomorrow. He went out, did the estimate, gave him a good deal on it, but the customer still wants to wait on a couple more estimates to come in before he makes a decision. But either which way, when he pays for that, he's supposed to tell me how much so I can credit to his account. So it is frustrating, but it's about coming up with a solution. Everything we do is about coming up with solutions, man. That's customer service 101, is solutions. Every client you have, no matter what industry you're in, has a problem. And they're calling you for a solution. So whatever service you provide, whatever goods you sell, it is a solution to someone's problem. So I say all that to say, we get frustrated, man. We get real frustrated. We get upset with things that happen, things that are beyond our control. But at the end of the day, the quicker we find a solution, the better we feel when it comes to dealing with these things. It's like my whole schedule in the spring. Oh, it's spring rush. Spring rush, and then, kids both play sports. It's been complicated trying to get everything done and make it to games and whatnot. But I'm not the guy that's gonna sit around and go, oh man, my schedule, man, my schedule. Got to make my schedule. There's no way I could do this. No, you come up with a solution. So my solution has been this spring, when it comes to my schedule, my solution has been Monday is when I do the most volume. It's usually the one day they don't have practice or anything. So I stay out till that route gets done. I get through that whole Monday route. The rest of the week is pretty much a cakewalk. I mean, Tuesday kind of sucks because it's commercials. They're pretty time consuming, and there's a little bit of drive time there. So I guess realistically, Monday and Tuesday, once you're done with those, the rest of the week, breeze. But if there's an extra stop I can do on one of those days, because I tell most of my clients, I may come the day before or the day after, depending on weather and how the schedule is going. There are some that had to be done specific days, but these aren't the ones I'm referring to now. If I'm ahead of schedule, one thing I do is sometimes I'll go ahead and add in a client, or I'll add in something that will make the next day easier. Another thing I do that I guess a lot of people don't do, and I've been doing this since I worked for other companies, is I call myself a preparation freak. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I like to have whatever prepared for the next day. I'm not the guy who wants to get stuff ready in prime time the day before, like the next day. Say I got jobs tomorrow. A lot of guys get up in the morning, they get their equipment together, they get their chemicals together, whatever they need for that day. That's not how I do things. I like to get everything ready the day before, heck, even the week before. Like, if I know I got mini skid steer job, like for example, say I got a brush cutting job with my mini skid steer scheduled for Friday. Okay, well, last Friday, 9 out of 10 times, here's how I do most of my Friday afternoons when I finish my projects, because it's my project day. A lot of times when I come in and I unload whatever I'm using that day, say if I'm using the mini skid the next Friday with the brush cutter, a lot of times I'll go ahead and load that bad boy onto my 20-foot trailer, which, it's my backup trailer anyways, and it's used for hauling, doing my projects. I'll load it. If I got a mulch job, whatever, sometimes I'll try to get that, ahead of time. A lot of times that doesn't work out too well. But all my mowing stuff, like everything needed for Monday, usually I have that set up, whatever I need, already like in the truck, in the box truck, ready for Monday morning, gassed up, you name it. I try to do pre-trip on the box truck, make sure it's ready for Monday morning. My routing, I try to take care of that. I do pre-charges this year for credit cards on file. I charge the week that I'm doing the service. So I try to have everything done ahead of time. So it's like Mondays I use a 61. I have a 61, a 21, a 32-inch stander, and whatever miscellaneous equipment. Like this week, it was a ride-on spreader because I had a job to fertilize actually today on Wednesday. So that's my example. This past Friday, what I did was I got that ride-on spreader sprayer and I put it in the box truck, even though I didn't need it until Wednesday. Put it in the front corner. Wasn't bothering nothing. Right next to my 32-inch stand on. So I've been loaded up for the whole week. The only thing I need to change is mowers. So I run a 61 on Mondays. I run the 72 on Tuesdays. Some weeks I'll run the 61 and the 72. So the only thing I change every afternoon when I get in, a lot of times, is whatever the main mower is for that day. So 61 and 72, a lot of times I alternate, out what I put in the shop, and I'll just switch that out. Everything else is ready for the whole entire week. All set up. That way I don't have to worry about that. So that's the way I deal with that. Again, I pre-plan. I don't know a lot of people that actually do that, which is why I mention it. A lot of guys get ready the day of, the morning of. I feel like you're just wasting so much time doing it that way. My routes are printed out the night before. All that. If I can do some things on the iPad, out in the field before I even get in, I do that too. But that's my little 2 cents worth, man, on getting through, and coming up with a solution, even for myself. Just like we do clients. That's what we do. Come up with solutions. All right, y'all. Be easy. Peace. Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude Unearthed, where we dive into deep topics, discussing not only the highlight reels, but we talk about the lowlight reels, the struggles, the successes. Anything we want to talk about for today, we will cover on this podcast. Once again, I appreciate you for listening to this. If you can, please give us a 5-star review. We are currently on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and still working on a few more. Thanks again for listening to us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.